All right, we're back with another Pick'em video. It is Thursday, February 6th. Another video coming out a little bit later in the day, but it worked out pretty well yesterday. So we're going to go over the recap like we always do, jump into some plays for today. And it's about 3 hours till the trade deadline. I don't think anything too crazy is going to happen. Usually it's Thursdays, the day where all these big trades happen. This year it was like happened to be huge trades like every day leading up to it. We did just see a small little trade go down for the Spurs. Again, I don't think anything too crazy is going to happen. That's kind of why I waited a little bit, but even so, not really loving the board all too much today as opposed to yesterday. It is a smaller 6-game slate, but there's a ton of game time decisions, ton of injury news, ton of guys if they're going to make their debut and things like that. So definitely going to be a little bit lighter. With that said, definitely liking a lot of plays on the board, and we're going to go over the ones that I am liking. So if you're new around here, definitely go ahead and subscribe, leave the video a like, comment something down below. Let's go over our recap of yesterday's video, and it was a 5-0 sweep, and it wasn't even close. Really, the only play that was kind of close, which was a plus money play, was a plus 100 play, was Cade Cunningham under 9.5 assists. That game almost went to overtime, except Darius Garland decided to hit a deep shot for the win at the buzzer. That was pretty crazy. So that cashed for us, plus 100 play there. Onyeka Okongwu, 25.5 PRA. How about a career-high 30 points? He had like 47 PRA, so absolutely dominated that. Bilal Coulibaly, over that in the first quarter. He had a triple-double in that game, another plus money play. So again, we're not only just giving out the minus 120, minus 130 plays here. If I see value on the plus money, I'm going to point that out, and we hit 2 of them yesterday. So awesome there. Devin Booker under 27.5 points. I saw this at 28.5. I saw this at like 25.5. It was moving all over the place. He got Dortcher chambered, only had like 19 points, and they got blown out there. Anthony Edwards over 29.5 points. I said he could go nuclear. He dropped 49 points. I even mentioned that you could ladder this up to 40 points. I didn't actually do it myself, but if you did, let me know in the comments down below, because he dropped 49 in an awesome matchup over 29.5 points. So, I mean, that's about as good as you can get. Really no sweat on any of them except for Cade, and absolutely crushing there. So good reads yesterday. Not going to happen every single day, but we're going to try to replicate that like always. And before we do that, let's talk about any teams on a back-to-back. I'll go through the injuries real quick, and then we'll get into some plays. All right, so looking at any teams on a back-to-back here, we do have the Nuggets. They're the one team. They got the Warriors on a back-to-back, and they have the Timberwolves on a back-to-back, and the Magic and the Kings. So there's actually 5 teams on a back-to-back in a 6-game slate. That's why the value is not extremely good today. But yeah, always want to point out the teams on a back-to-back. So again, that's the Kings, that is the Magic, that is the Timberwolves right here. We got the Warriors, and we have the Nuggets. So just keep that in mind. Someone might pop up in the injury report if something doesn't go well at shoot-around, or something flares up in an injury or rest situation. I always want to point that out for you guys. And then going over the injury report here, the big news for the Celtics-Dallas game. I hope AD suits up, because I want to see my Celtics play against this new team, but AD is currently a game-time decision. He was present at shoot-around, so I think he's going to play, which would be pretty cool. I want to see him in that Mavs jersey, Mavs debut, but still no Lively. PJ Washington's going to be out for this one too. I think he just had a baby. Dwight Powell, a couple of these other guys on the bench. And then for the Celtics, pretty healthy. Drew Holiday, game-time decision. Got to see if he's going to play. Not going to make too big of a difference, but some guys definitely getting a little bit of a boost there. For Houston, still no Jabari Smith Jr., still no Fred VanVleet. We might get Tari Eason back here. We might see Steven Adams. I don't think he's going to play here. I think he's doubtful, actually. Jaden Springer just got moved there. Don't think he'll make his debut. For the Timberwolves, still no Julius Randle, still no Dante DiVincenzo. They're on a back-to-back as well. For the Orlando Magic, KCP, game-time decision. Doubtful tag for Jalen Suggs, so don't think he's going to be out there. For Denver, Aaron Gordon is going to be also a game-time decision tag. I think they're messing up these, because I think he's more likely a game-time decision here. He was game-time decision yesterday, did play. Now on a back-to-back, I think he could sit. But Peyton Watson, Russell Westbrook, still out for the Nugs. For the Warriors, they just made that big trade. Jimmy Butler now coming into town. He's probably not going to play, getting a doubtful tag. Kuminga's still out, but that also means a couple guys getting a little bit of a boost here. No Wiggins anymore. Andrew Wiggins going to Miami Heat. Dennis Schroeder also got traded. A couple other guys that I'm blanking on right now, but a couple other guys that were rotation pieces are going to be out of here, and you can see the potential minutes here. I'll just pop it up. Pajemski, 34 potential minutes here, or projected minutes. Buddy Hield, 26. Even guys like Moses Moody, Gary Payton, going to be getting a little bit of a boost there as well. So keep an eye on the Warriors. Think there's some value on that team. For the Lakers, also, they're a back-to-back situation, so just keep that in mind. For the Lakers, I don't think we're going to see Luka just yet. If we go into his page, they keep saying Saturday, so he's still dealing with that calf strain, I think. Don't expect to see him today, but we've seen crazier surprises. Oh, nope, looks like he just got ruled out. So he's out. Okay, so we know Luka's not going to be on the court. But the Lakers have been playing really good. LeBron going to have one more game being the best guy on the floor. So he could go out there and play well against Curry like he usually does. But for other guys, Christian Wood, Kleba, they're all out for this team as well. Gabe Vincent, game time decision, but he's not very good. For the Sacramento Kings, they're on a back-to-back. We saw Zach LaVine and DeRozan play for the first time together since their Bulls days. LaVine making his Sacramento debut yesterday. They didn't play very well, so kind of maybe a little revenge spot, but now they got the blazing Trailblazers who have been playing really, really well. So just keep that in mind. The Kings are also on a back-to-back here. And then for the Indiana Pacers, we have no injuries, which is nice, and then for the Clippers, pretty much no injuries. So that is the injury report. That's what we got going on for the 6-game slate. Again, not my favorite slate in the world, but definitely some fun games here with Boston, Dallas. Houston, Minnesota should be fun. This one should obviously be fun, especially if Luka decides, oh, nope, I'm actually going to play. That'd be just as surprising as the trade, I'd think. And yeah, a couple good games. Let's get into the plays, though. All right, so jumping into the first play of the video, first of all, we're going to be using a tool called Props Madness. If you want to check it out, you can get a free week trial using my link in the description down below. Also, when you use code RICH, you're going to get 25% off your first month or your first year. So if you're watching this video and you're like, this tool is sick, definitely check it out in my description of the video down below. And we're going to start off with DeMar DeRozan. This is going to be a Props Madness user's dream because he looks amazing for his matchup today. Now, I want to mention the fact that he is on a back-to-back. I'm just going to get that right out of the way because he's played pretty well on back-to-backs. I'm looking at his points line at 20.5. Obviously, Zach LaVine's in, but De'Aaron Fox is out. So kind of, high offensive players kind of switching in for each other. So I don't think that's going to affect DeMar DeRozan all too much, especially because he's played with Zach LaVine for a few years down in Chicago, and he was, I'm pretty sure, the leading scorer on that team, even with Zach LaVine in town. Also, you can throw this game out the window. This is an absolute outlier against the Pacers. He shot 1 of 7, 28 minutes. They lost by 27 points. Not even sure what happened there. But every other game, he's either over or very close. So the back-to-back, not scaring me all too much. Now, he's also played this team. He's playing the Trailblazers. They had 23 points against them. Shot 7 of 14, and a lot of his damage comes in the mid-range. He's always been a mid-range assassin. So let's see what Props Madness does well, and it can see right here. Season shot chart for DeMar DeRozan. This is kind of color-coded with the opponent defense as well, so you can see his season shot chart. Okay, a lot of his shots come in that mid-range, 45%. Then you can see the opposing defense. Oh, dead last, 30th. They put that all together so you can kind of quickly go and see, okay, I can see DeMar's got a really good matchup here. Dead last in terms of that mid-range. DeMar has lived in the mid-range pretty much his entire career, so loving to see that. You also see how he scores the ball. He gets the free throw line sometimes. 4.7 points a game come from the free throw line. They're ranked 26th in that. They're also weak in pick and roll ball handling, 20th. And also, I'll just point this out now because I'm going to get to it later, but you can probably already see it on the page. Similar players, the way they score the ball to DeMar DeRozan, similar offensive archetype type players. Booker, Shea, J-Dub, Cade, pretty much all of these guys are going over their lines against the Trailblazers here. So I'm absolutely loving this play. 11 of the 12 guys that play similarly to DeMar, especially including DeMar himself, all went over their lines. One guy that missed was Shea. He had 28 points on a 31.5 line. Not sure what happened in that game, but again, it's not like he got shut down here. So really loving the spot for DeMar, and we can make this chart look a whole lot better for the entire year. 55.6% hit rate was going off, caught a little bit of a rut, then had a very good 33-point game here, and then Zach LaVine comes to town. Much more difficult matchup here against the Magic, only ends with 19. So let's make this whole look a little bit better because, again, weak in the mid-range and also weak in pick and roll ball handling, and we can do that right here. So I'm going to go to the mid-range first. We're going to see they're dead last. I'm just going to go to bottom third teams in the league. Now we got a 73% hit rate where DeMar can really cook in that mid-range, and again, we've seen the Blazers get killed by that all year. So loving that right off the bat. Then we can add to this. Let's go pick and roll ball handling. They're also ranked 20th in that. Let's just knock out the top 10 teams, so we're dealing with the 11th to the 30th teams here. Now this is a 81.8% hit rate, 9 of 11 games. The 2 games he missed was 19 points on both those games. We need 21 from him, and he's averaging 24.6 in those type of matchups. So absolutely loving to see this. This is an awesome, presentation for Props Madness as well, just because of all the filters you can get in here. But even just knocking all these down, the last thing I'll note here is I love going to DeMar DeRozan anytime they're on the road. You can see it hasn't been amazing lately, but for the entire season in away games, he's over in 68.2% of games. They really rely on him a little bit more. Yes, 4 of the last 5 games he stayed under, but for the entire season, he's a guy that definitely likes to step up on the road. So every way knock it here. This is a great matchup for DeMar DeRozan. If he gets, a certain amount of free throws, I could look at that as well. He had 10 free throws the last times he played the Trailblazers here, so he could definitely be on the line a little bit. Absolutely loving DeMar here for the first play of the video. Moving along to the next play here, you recognize him, Anthony Edwards. Yeah, he just dropped 49 points yesterday when we bet on him. We're going to do it again here. They are at a back-to-back, so I'll start that right off the bat. He's not as good as DeMar DeRozan, but he's still pretty solid at getting over this. He's a younger dude. Doesn't matter if they're back-to-back or whatever. He seems to be well-rested and is scoring pretty well, averaging 29.6 points per game on these back-to-back sets. And he's over this 28.5 scoring line in 57% of those. So back-to-back, not going to matter too much to me. Now, the thing I wanted to see here is Anthony Edwards has been scoring the ball a lot better recently. Now, Julius Randle's been out the last 2 games. Dante DiVincenzo's out. What does that give Anthony Edwards? It doesn't immediately bump his scoring up. It gives him more usage. He has the ball in his hands a little bit more. And we can actually see this on the blue line. I'm going to go to his usage and kind of just see for the entire season, the past 10 games, 15 games, really since he started scoring a lot more, his usage has been much higher than it was throughout the entire season, at least consistently higher. So I looked through all these games, 43, 29.9, 31, 35, 34, 31, 34. Pretty much all these games, he's well over 30. If he misses, he's at like 29 or 29.9. So I just want to see games he's seeing the usage that I think he's going to get today. As we see this bar go up, 38% hit rate for the entire year right now. If he's going to get at least 30% usage, a lot of these games were well over that. This turns into a 56% hit rate. So again, makes sense. If he has the ball in his hands a little bit more, he's going to be scoring more. And as they've been struggling throughout the season, you can see the last 15 games or so, he's really turned on the scoring, especially when he has the balls in his hands. When he has the ball in his hands, he's been able to put the ball in the basket, which makes a lot more sense. So I like to see his usage high consistently lately, and I think that's going to continue without Julius Randle, especially without Dante DiVincenzo, all these different things. I think that he's gonna be able to score the ball here. Now, what's up with this matchup? So he's getting the usage, hopefully. Pick and roll ball handling, they're ranked 29th. We've talked about the Rockets before on defense. They're a good defensive team. They stay down on shooters. They make you beat them one-on-one. They're going to say, hey, your best player, go one-on-one with us. You're not going to let these spot-up shooters get involved. And we can see that pick and roll ball handling, they're bad, 29th ranked. Spot-up shooting, they're very good at defending, 2nd ranked. So for someone like Anthony Edwards, that's not going to be able to get these other guys involved, based on the defensive stats here. It's going to be more like he's going to have to take these guys one-on-one and score by himself. Those spot-up shooters might get a little bit more limited. So we can see the hit rate here change as we put that into play here. So pick and roll ball handling, again, they're ranked 29th. Let's just see the bottom 15 teams in the league. Now we see a 69% hit rate. This is teams that don't have a great pick and roll ball handling defense. Now, what else are they good at here? We just talked about it. Houston stays down on shooters, might not be able to get it to the spot up shooters. If we go to the bottom, 10 teams in the league that are good at defending spot up shooters, now we see 3 games here, 100% hit rate, and he's averaging 40.7 points in these games. So I'm not expecting 40 from him. He did just drop 49. That's tough to do 2 games in a row. But I do like this matchup for him in terms of the way you think this is going to be defended. Anthony Edwards beat us one-on-one. We're going to stay down on the Naz Reids of the world, the Jaden McDaniels of the world. You're not going to be able to kick out to them, try to get to the rim, knock down some shots, and obviously do a little bit of ISO, maybe knock down some threes for us as well. That's all we need here. 28.5 just seems a little bit too low for a guy that's getting a ton of usage lately and a guy in a good matchup. So Anthony Edwards going right back to him on a back-to-back set, going up against the Houston Rockets at home. And then quickly moving into a couple more plays here. I'm not going to really overthink them here, but Brandon Pajemski is projected for 34 minutes today. So I've got his filter here at 30-plus minutes, and really want to get to his assists. That's probably the smartest play here, but it is juiced. A lot of books have this at minus 150 or even worse. So, that looks really good. His rebounds look pretty good as well. I think what I'm going to play is his 9.5 rebounds and assists. When he gets the time, especially last year, you remember how good of a rebounder he was? He was talked about as like one of the best guard rebounders in the entire league. We haven't seen that all too much just yet this year, but if he's going to get a ton of time with all those guys moving on from the Jimmy Butler trade, I like this Brandon Pajemski spot at 9.5 rebounds and assists. You could go to his scoring too. He did just score 17 points against these guys in 24 minutes, so that's something to also think about, but he also scored 6 points against these guys in 24 minutes. So he should be getting more than that. He could definitely put the ball in the basket. Doesn't have the worst matchup in the world here, pretty much yellow matchup all around the board. So I don't love his scoring potential. I really like his assists. I like his rebounds a little bit more. And again, you can see that game specifically. Didn't rebound well, but did assist well. But again, I'm just going off the minutes. He's going to be playing a ton of time with those guys. Getting shipped out for Jimmy Butler. I don't assume Jimmy Butler's going to play, but weirder things have happened. If he steps on the court, I don't love this as much. Probably hurts his minutes just a little bit. But even so, I think I'm going to ride out with his rebounds and assists, 9.5. Again, smaller slate, a ton of injuries. You got to, kind of slim pickings here, but I'm not going to overthink it too much. I like the hit rate just based on these minutes, and he should get a lot of runs. So 9.5 rebounds assists for Podziemski. That's what I'm going to be rolling with the third play. And then firing off a couple leans here. I do like LeBron. Again, kind of the last game, he might be the best guy in the court for his team. And his 27.5 points line just seems a little bit too high. He is going up against Steph Curry, who he loves to play against, 31 and 25 points in those games. And without AD, he's been scoring the ball extremely well, kind of even blowing out some of these teams in that same way. So I like LeBron, but I like his double-double, 9.5 assists on the over. This is going to be plus money, I think, definitely for a double-double. So I think that's maybe the way I play it. I think he's, again, going to have to play the game like this is his last time being the best guy in the court, and he's got a pretty good matchup here for it against the Warriors. He's gone over against this team twice already. He had 10 assists and he had 12 assists. AD played both these games, so that's a little bit concerning, but he's been able to pass the ball pretty well even without AD in the lineup. 11, 12, and 9 assists in those last 3 games without AD. So been passing pretty well. So LeBron for a double-double, kind of a lean in this situation for sure. Then moving on, back to this Timberwolves and Rockets game. Jaden McDaniels, I'm also liking his rebounds and assists. When he gets the time, he puts this, easily in. He's projected for 37 minutes. Again, we'll just see over like 34 minutes if he's projected for 37. And he's over this in 85% of games. A lot of these right on 8, which scares me a little bit. He's also on a back-to-back, which he hasn't played extremely well. With the time, he's played pretty well. He had 8 and 7, but this is definitely more of a lean considering the fact that he is on a back-to-back. When I get rid of those minutes, it doesn't look as good. Obviously, the minutes are the big play here because of the injuries of Randall and Dante DiVincenzo. He's been getting a lot of run. But with the back-to-back, with the minutes, it doesn't look that bad. But the lean here is because the one game or a few games he's stayed under, one was against the Rockets. If I can get the minutes back, confused myself. If I can get the minutes back up to 34 plus, again, projected for 37. One of these games where he got 7 was against the Rockets. So they're a team that doesn't allow a whole bunch of assists. They don't allow a whole bunch of rebounds. But he can rebound the ball, assist the ball. They can kind of come in bunches. Difficult matchup against the Rockets, and he did stay under, but 85% hit rate with this time. I'm going to roll the dice and play this as a lean for Jaden. So I do have one more play I want to talk about in this one, but before that, I want to remind everyone I'm doing a $200 giveaway. Read the description down below. It's very easy to get into. All you got to do is use my code RICH when signing up to Sleeper. You're going to get an entry into the into the giveaway, but you're also going to get a play 5 get $55 promotion, which is pretty sweet right off the bat. I'm also going to give you a free month of my Discord. But remember, when you do sign up this, I have to know. It doesn't automatically show me. So you got to comment something down below. I'll at least get your username there, and I'll reach out to you that way, because I do need a screenshot. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I signed up, get an entry that way. I do have to confirm it. So the easiest way to do it is sign up or go to the Discord. There's a free part of the Discord to join. Just join that part and then go to the general chat or something and just be like, hey, I used your code. Then I can start a DM with you. That's the easiest way to do it. But there are not a whole bunch of people in this just yet because I can't confirm everyone that's used my code. I can see some of the codes coming in and I can't confirm who used them. So you're going to have a pretty good chance at this $200. Again, this is going to be right after the Super Bowl. So all you got to do is use code RICH when signing up for Sleeper. If you already have Sleeper or it's not available, there are other codes in there as well. So you can sign up for Betr, which we've been on fire with. You can sign up for Dabble, for PrizePicks, Underdog. Any of those will work. Just let me know in the comments, say, hey, I used one of your codes so I can reach back out and get in contact with you. Or the better way to do it is join the free part of the Discord. Then I can get you in that way. So that's the giveaway. Again, don't forget about it because there's not a whole bunch of people in it. I want everyone to take advantage of it. And a lot of these apps are going to be giving us discounts for the Super Bowl for like promotions, boosts, free plays, whatever it might be. So you want to be on as many as possible. So it's a great time to do that. So giveaway, again, read the description down below. It can describe it better than I can here. So moving into the last lean here, it's going to be Christian Brown of the Nuggets. Now, they are also on a back-to-back, so I'm going to point that out right off the bat. Doesn't look as good, but this is going to be another minutes play. No Peyton Watson, no Russell Westbrook, potentially no Aaron Gordon in this thing. So I'm liking this spot for his rebounds. You can see he's rebounded the ball really, really well, and he's also expected for 37 minutes today. So I'm going to bump this up to 34 plus minutes. And as you can see, the hit rate's obviously looking a whole lot better, 60.9% hit rate. And he's going up against a Magic team who don't allow a whole bunch of rebounds. But if you look at it a little bit closer, you can see that there's only one player that's like him. And he had himself 11 rebounds against this team back on January 19th, so not too long ago. And then positionally, so not a lot of guys that play like him, but just his position. You can see guys like DeRozan and Levine did just miss out, but Podziemski had 5 rebounds. Shaedon Sharpe ended up going under, but then Sharpe went over in the other game. RJ Barrett, Brown, pretty much all the Browns are going over. DiVincenzo comes up short, and then Hart, Dick, Thompson, Simmons, Hart's, all these different guys. I don't know why I went through every single one of them. 11 to 15 hit rate for guys in this position. So positionally, it makes a whole lot of sense. Head to head, makes a whole lot of sense as he had 11 rebounds against them recently. 4.5, it is definitely juice, but if you want to play this at 5 or 5.5 or 6 plus or whatever you want to be getting for some plus money, I wanted to point it out as a lean because I think he's in a pretty good spot here, especially with these minutes. 60% hit rate with these minutes, and he had 11 rebounds against these guys last time. Definitely not not too down on this play. I'm liking this one a lot. So some plus money here, 5 plus, 6 plus rebounds, however you want to play it. Christian Braun, I think, is a good spot for us. I was looking down at my phone because I was waiting for this to happen. We did get a trade during the recording of the video. Yusuf Nurkic traded from the Suns to the Hornets, who didn't have a center after they traded Mark Williams to the Lakers yesterday, which is crazy. So yeah, Yusuf Nurkic goes to the Hornets. Maybe a good fantasy spot for people that play fantasy. They had to give up a first-round pick, and the Suns get Cody Martin, Micic in a second-round pick. So not the craziest thing in the world. There's only about an hour left, or hour and a half left of the trade deadline. So it doesn't look like anything too crazy is left to happen here. All the craziness happened the last few days, and it was pretty crazy. We had huge names being traded all over the place. But that's going to do it for this one. Sorry for the later upload. But again, it worked out for us yesterday. Let me know in the comments down below if you made some money on those plays. 5-0 sweep is awesome. Don't forget to get into that giveaway if you want a chance at $200. Pretty good chance for anyone that wants to sign up and actually confirm with me through the comments or through the free part of the Discord. That's all you got to do. Just say, hey, confirm here. Send a screenshot to me in the Discord. It's very simple. Yeah, I want as many people on that as possible. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. So good games today. I want to see AD against the Celtics. That'll be fun. We got the Rockets going up against the Timberwolves. Hopefully, Anthony Edwards can go nuclear for us again. Nuclear. I'm learning how to say that word now. But yeah, that's going to do it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Trade deadline will be up and over. So we'll have some new guys in new places. So hopefully find some spots where guys might be getting more minutes, but also, certain areas where we're going to have to be guessing on some of the defenses because there may be a whole lot changed. The Mavs, for instance, we might be totally different down there with AD. So we got our work cut out for us, but it should be a whole lot of fun. Knowing the NBA is definitely a plus when going into this rather than not knowing what's happening in the NBA. So we'll keep on top of that, and we'll try to continue this run. So hopefully you guys made some money. Again, leave the video a like, comment something down below. Subscribe if you are new. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.